Yeah, he gets go for it. I need 10 days.
I stole it.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. We can please call meetings to order and stand for the pledge. Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with the opening of the bids for the driving service aggregate.
The first bid is from Ford Construction. The bid is for 7,000 tons, more or less, of DSA, PA state certified, as delivered to the township yard, $11.50 per ton, the full amount $80,500. Delivered stockpile, $21.50, full total $150,500.
I'm sorry, John, read that again.
The unit price at the plant, should make that clear, was $11.50, $80,500. Delivered to the municipality, $21.50 per ton, 150,500. And it does look to be a complete bid along with the appropriate bid. The next one is from Johnson Quarries. Also for 7,000 tons more or less, PA state certified DSA. They have only bid it as delivered to the township yard, $25 per ton, $175,000. That also has the canvas ready and the appropriate, bid bond. I'm going to give it a moment.
Any discussion?
You bet.
Mr. Thompson, can I ask a question? Is the CS 4171 the certificate of compliance required for submitting a bid for a state approved?
It depends if it was appropriately bid by. I mean, they would have to comply with it, whether or not they would have to have it for tonight's meeting is.
That's what I'm asking. Does it have to be part of the bid package if they're bidding on state approved DSA?
I honestly don't have the bid in front of me to know that for certain.
Isn't that what you just read?
I just did the bid itself and then reviewed to make sure that the appropriate bid bond, the anti-collusion affidavits and all of those were.
Any other discussion? Do I have a motion?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to accept bid for delivered to the township. 1250.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Can I ask another question?
I'm sorry, I need to find out what the acquisition is.
Okay, next we have Woodley residents. And that's
No, we don't need
Jim Cheresnowski. He is not here today. He needed to attend a funeral service, however, his question is, specific to the paved asphalt blacktop roads. And wonders, the paved roads scheduled for resurfacing during the remainder of 2026, the roads scheduled for patching and pothole repairs, paved roads identified as needing repaired or resurfacing but not scheduled for 2026. Project length, costs, contractors and or township performed work. Funding sources and the remaining 2026 paved road budget and the township's process for prioritizing future paved road improvements. Since I'm providing these questions in advance, specifically to give the supervisor sufficient time to review township records and obtain any information necessary to respond, my intention is to avoid any gotcha moments and instead have a productive, fact-based discussion at the meeting. If possible, I would appreciate receiving the board's written responses or comments prior to the meeting. This would allow me to review the information beforehand should I make our public discussion more focused and productive. Please confirm receipt of the attached submission. That township roads and road maintenance will be included on the agenda for my discussion. Thank you at this time. So that, I believe, will be discussed when we get to the public works department. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, I believe so. Those 4 pages, and I went through question by question.
There should be, attachment to it. It's a color, it's got color box on it. So, Tony replied, and, we were able to provide Mr. Chair, not the majority of the information that he requested. So, I did forward that on him and asked him in the email if he had anything additional, please feel free to give us a call.
I did speak with him. I'm not sure what day it was, but he seemed to have everything sufficient. I think that was sufficient, so that was good. And then Tony, you'll just update us when we get to public works. All right, next, Colby Holbert on McDuffie Street. This is an email, and it says, voice of the residents to be read, August 26th, 2026 meeting. So this was an email that he had written in asking about our road conditions again.
Yes, yep.
Oh, okay. Do you want to speak then?
No, it's just mainly for you guys. It's not public notice or anything like that. It's just for the supervisors. My 2 cents, my thoughts.
Okay, thank you. Nancy Nichols?
Nicholas.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nicholas, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to speak with you today about, our ordinance officer. I want to raise concern about how our ordinance officer spoke with a serious cash buyer for my farm. She entered the conversation with Ed, very interested in purchasing the property, and came away saying that living here would be a quote unquote nightmare because of permits. That outcome is deeply concerning. Since we purchased our property in Athens Township, our interactions with the ordinance officer have too often felt discouraging rather than helpful. Rather than feeling guided through the process, we've often felt met with resistance. An ordinance officer represents our township to current residents, prospective homeowners, and people considering investing in our community. That role should be carried out with professionalism, consistency, and helpfulness. Residents and prospective buyers should feel heard. They should feel that when they ask a question, the ordinance officer is there to help them understand the permitting process and how to comply, not leaving them feeling discouraged and isolated. I respectfully ask the Board of Supervisors to address this matter, review how these interactions are being handled, and ensure that our township is represented in a way that reflects the values we want for our community. We all want what's best for Athens Township, and that includes a fair enforcement alongside with respectful treatment and constructive guidance. I feel that when the woman spoke with Ed, she was super excited, wanted to buy the farm. She just needed to speak about a few ordinances and what we do, and it got so bad after she spoke with him that she refused to even respond to the realtor.
I did. it ended up, the realtor reached out to me and potential buyer had reached out to me, so I came down, spoke with Mr. Reed, and the potential buyer had sent me an email with a list of what her intentions were, as far as her business goes, and to kind of get some clarity on it, so I had something to go off of. I came down and met with Mr. Reed and went over the list of everything, and we were able to answer all of her questions, and I corresponded back with her just today, actually, to let her know. So,
And at this point, you feel that she is fully informed of what her responsibilities would be?
yeah, I answered all the questions after I went through everything.
As my understanding, she would need basically a sign permit for, construction of the sheds that she's gonna use for the remo.
I'm sure with the plethora of what just coming in, making the place her own, different animals and things of that nature. I don't know what got lost in the mix or whatever, but that's why they reached out and asked if I could kind of intervene and see if I could find out some specific answers or what happened, the interaction, or what got lost in the mix. So, yeah, answered all the questions for her, made it clear of what she needs to do moving forward, I guess. So.
I guess as a as the way I'm looking at this is, what does she need to do? What does she need to do? What does she need to do? That's what I've heard from you and from you. But what do we need to do we've got businesses that aren't coming. We've got businesses that we don't let come here. We've got people that don't want to live here. What about what this office should do for the people that are coming in? My thought process is when somebody comes to my farm and wants a riding lesson, wants a trail ride, wants to board, I'm going to go up the extra mile because I want them to come here. I want them to come to me.
That's not what it feels like.
But the thing of it is, both of you just said, and I'm not just stating what I just heard. What does she need to do? But how about
What are you guys?
what we need to do as a community to get people to want to come here?
When you have somebody come in, do you have them sign a waiver of liability?
Absolutely, but my presentation with that is definitely not, well, this is what you need to do.
Well, and I wasn't
I'm
there,
just
but
stating
saying
that.
it's the same thing.
Can I
You
please
have
finish?
different
Can I please
restrictions.
finish?
Sure.
Okay. The way you stated it, this is what she needs to do, this is what, but how about, hey, you know what? We're gonna need you to do this, but we can help you right along the way. It's not a big deal. You sit down with us. If you have any questions, we'll help you. That's the way people want to feel.
And that's what I understand occurred, but I wasn't on it. So I
But
can't.
it has occurred. If someone was that interested in the property and felt like they were welcome into our community, do you really think that she would have ran the other way?
So
If you
Nancy,
feel welcome?
We wouldn't
what
have
I'm
to
hearing
have.
from you is that you're a little frustrated and other people are very frustrated with the zoning officer and the way that he's conducting business.
Right, I definitely feel like if you're going to be in that position, maybe you need to go to a class on how to talk to people.
So aside from the issue that we just had here with talking about what Matt and John were just discussing about the potential buyer, we can take what you've given us as far as your information on how you're feeling about the way that Mr. Reed conducts business. We can have a conversation with him. And the only way that we can begin to improve the way he interacts with people is by us having a conversation with him and letting him know that this is not acceptable.
Thank you.
So we'll
That's what I'm
make
looking for.
sure that happens.
Thank you.
In your opinion, ma'am, what was the break?
I'm sorry?
What caused your buyer to change their mind?
I do not know what Ed said to her. I just know that when she left our house on Sunday, she was super excited, loved the energy there, loved everything about it. It was perfect. But she wanted to talk to the ordinance officer. My realtor was gonna talk to the ordinance officer, but the lady called first. And the quote from my realtor was, it was an absolute nightmare. And I'm like,
So, yes, well, I, like what I just said, well,
Again, I appreciate,
we'll have a
that's what I'm
conversation.
asking, because I
Yeah.
feel like if moving forward, you have to conduct yourself in a professional manner, saying like, we're gonna help you right along the way, you know, it's,
So that's a conversation that we can have with him.
thank you.
Thank you very much
The
for bringing
reason
it to
I
our
asked the
attention.
question, my ex-wife owns about 15 remix franchises. I've never heard of a flying farm. Why was he there?
I'm sorry,
Why was he there?
he wasn't there, she called
She
here.
called here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she called here because she didn't want a repeat. She's from New York, so she wanted something a little bit more lax, something different.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that someone from our fiscal was here and wanted to speak. Is that? I did not know that. I'm sorry. I skipped over and I apologize for that. I didn't mean to do that. Was there something that you wanted to add to the discussion?
Yeah, well, this is from the last year when I went to Justice. You said you were the most qualified guy in the room, which I'm not doubting you are. That's the rest of the report, right? And then you said, somebody asked Mr. Cole, if this is how you send a sample to the state. I'm just asking you, because I've only been doing it 33 years, how do you send it?
They showed me a buffer.
That's exactly how we send it into the state. 33 pounds is a minimum. Only thing different about that is a lid. And I got a lid in the truck and put that on there for you. But that's the only thing that.
No, mine ID number, no.
You need a mine ID number? It's Athens. You just bought 7,000 ton from me.
How many sources of gravel?
What do you mean, how many sources? I got one kit,
Yeah, one thing.
one rack.
360947.
But I'm just saying, you say you're so qualified, that's exactly how you send it into the state. Except for it doesn't have a lid because it gets still in the new.
It may have changed in the last.
It has
We
not
bagged
changed.
it
I've been
all
doing
up.
it for 33
Each
years.
bag was
33
identified with the
years.
state and the product.
You asked for a sample. You just bought 7,000 tons from me. You couldn't walk out there and take a look at that?
How big was 7,000 pound highway? That's a lot.
7,000 tons.
Yeah, 7,000 ton. That's a lot.
Yes.
Wow, what would you say?
What do you mean? I don't know. It could be anything. If it's 80 feet long, it's gonna be 30 feet high. If it's 6,000 feet long, it's
Straight
30
conical
feet high.
pot.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do,
Upside down ice cream.
I don't know. That's why we have scales.
You have
Do
scale?
you know? Yeah, absolutely. Certified scales. We have a certified lab there. So, and another thing you said at the end was you would get twice as much if it wasn't state approved. So if it's not state approved, it's no longer DSA, right? Because if we don't have to take a sample of the 500 ton, put it in an oven, run through a sieve thing, do a wash-loss test, then what do we know we're selling? Could be selling you shale. Could be selling you anything.
Well, we don't have a testing facility here, right? So we would have no.
But if you want to bid it without it being state
But
approved,
in the
then you're
Commonwealth
just
of
bidding
Pennsylvania,
anything.
we do not have to purchase
You let me know when you're done.
state approved gravel
What's
for
that?
regular maintenance on Township Road.
I agree.
Now,
But how are you gonna tell them, how are you gonna tell? If it isn't state approved, I can run it through my lab, as long as it's 1.5 inches minus, who's gonna know? You could go to your local shale pit and make DSA out of shale.
I understand.
That's what I'm
Are
saying.
you listed on Pennsylvania's Department of
Yes.
Transportation? Bolton?
Bolton, yes,
You are?
yes.
Are you listed on Bolton?
14 is all I have to be, because
Okay.
truthfully,
Because 15 is product, 14 is
I
producer.
understand exactly what it is.
Okay,
But
are
do
you
you
able
understand-
to access the ECAM's website?
I'm on Kansas, but
You are?
let me know when you're done. Okay, so if you're such a genius on this stuff, DSA has nothing to do with Pennsylvania. Nothing to do with the state of Pennsylvania. It has to do with Penn State University produced this product, and they did it in my pit 20 years ago. They come up and did a sample, and they built
Basically,
this.
inch minus. Correct.
It basically is, yes, but it's called DSA. It has more 200s in it. It has a 10% of 200s in it, where like 2A or 2RC can't have it. But that is not even a Harrisburg spec material. It's a Penn State spec material. There's nothing But if you think you're gonna get a half price, you're sadly mistaken if you want that product, because we still have to take.
Well, I don't want that product.
What do you want?
I think we'd be much better off with 2-inch modified and then use the ESA inch minus the top one. Or 3, depending on how bad the road is.
But what's the specs on that? If it's not stated, like I said.
It does not have to be state approved in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
No, it doesn't.
Routine maintenance road.
100% it doesn't.
Now, if we're doing a low volume project, or we're doing a dirt and gravel project, absolutely, you gotta buy it out of liquid fuels, it has to be state approved.
No, I know all that. I'm just saying, look, if you say you want 1.5 inch or 2 inch minus sag, who's to say what we're sending you?
Certificate of compliance.
So we have to still run it through a lab?
You have to have a certificate of compliance.
So
With the
guessing at
product.
it? So
Which
I would
means-
still have to send it to a lab, is all I'm saying, to make sure it's what you want.
It's not what I want.
Whoever wants. If you say you want 2 inch minus, if that's what's being bid, I can't just say, oh, that's 2 inches and less. What if it's got 15% 200s on it? Or 18% number 4? That is no longer what you want to bid. I'm just saying that I can go to your local shale pit and make exactly what you want to start. But it's gonna pass what you say you want.
Thank
Who tested it? Planning testing?
They tested it, I tested it too. I
Mr.
tested every 500 tons.
Mr.
Or my
Paul,
son.
thank you for your
Oh, sorry.
clarification. Yeah, no, you're good. Thank you for your clarification. That was.
Am I done?
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Okay, I'm just, whatever. Am I good here though?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Valerie.
And I would
Sorry.
say the two of you can talk after the meeting
Yeah,
about clarifying.
I
what
gotta
you're-
get back to that.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thank you.
appreciate it, thank you.
Valerie O'Neill.
I talked to all of you since they're friendly.
I can come here next time though.
I'm Valeria O'Neill and I reside obviously in Athens Township. And I want to speak briefly to the township meeting I attended last month. Tony Lundy requested another hand to work on the roads. 2 of the 3 supervisors that were present last month, 2 said yes, while the other did not. What concerns me with the position, it was already budgeted for, and it was just manpower that we need to get a job done. Something that every day online on your social media that I see continually negative feedback. My road's crap. He's asking for help. You're telling him no. I'm saying a little respect here, okay? I own my business for 28 years. If it were budgeted and I need to hire somebody, I'm gonna hire somebody. And the man was shot down. You ask why our employees are being turned over. You wanna keep a good person? Let's do something about it.
Thank you, Ms. O'Neill. Next we have Mr. Firestone.
Good evening, everyone. That's a perfect segue, Valerie, into my topic of aggregate. And I'm sorry that Mr. Cole left, because I've done 7 right-to-know requests in the last 30 days because trying to get information is difficult. And I want to thank Megan Carling, because the amount of work that she has done, and probably in concert with Tony and Mason, is unbelievable. And I want to share about aggregate, which I received on Monday, which was probably, I bet you, 6 reams of paper. And this is what I learned from the information on these pages. I guess before I do that, and I hope I don't go over the 3 minutes, but I'm going to try to be succinct. What funds are you going to purchase the DSA that you just approved the bid for out of?
Act 13.
I'm sorry? Act 13. Because the majority of the conversations about this have been, do we need state approved or don't we need state approved? And it really boils down to, what fund are you taking it out of? Because if you're going to use liquid fuels, or if it's dirt, gravel, low volume road, you must use state approved, right? Everybody's in agreement with that, I think. Okay? For the last 2 months, and why Mr. Kelly keeps saying no to the state approved is because Supervisor Heffron keeps saying we're going to use liquid fuel funds. But I'll tell you, the last May, June, July financial reports that Mr. Roppers puts out say that they have been paid out of the general funds, which is not required to purchase if you're going to purchase non-state approved. So I feel like in the meeting you're saying we're going to use state approved, and we have to use state approved. We have to use liquid fuels because we won't get liquid fuels if we don't spend liquid fuels, which we now know that's not how they determine liquid fuels. They determine liquid fuels by the population and the mileage, right? So after all these 3 months or 4 months of back and forth and arguing and being disrespectful and the residents being upset because you can't drive down the road without breaking your teeth, breaking a rim. That's not funny, Mrs. Heffron.
I'm not laughing.
You
about
are
it.
laughing, and I
Do you
don't
wanna know what
appreciate
I'm
it.
laughing about?
So
I break my teeth every time I come out of my
Stop.
driveway. I'm just saying.
So it was all for naught because you paid for it out of the general funds. So between the 28 between May 5th and the 10th of July, you had 28 days where 288 trucks brought aggregate 6,094.59 tons of aggregate into this yard back here. And one of the things you can't do with DSA is leave it uncovered, right? Everybody in the room knows that except for me because I'm not an aggregate specialist. Between the days 28 April and 7 May, there were 4 days where 24 trucks from Johnson Quarry brought state-approved R3. Now, the one thing that caught my eye was if it's state-approved, you have to have the CS 4171 for each load that's tested, not each truck, but each pile. Not one of Cole's trucks, not one of them had it. All of Johnson Quarry had it. Johnson Quarry's, like I said, there were 24 trucks, 8 of them missing the weigh tickets, and that is not on Megan at all. That's not where I'm going with it. Where I'm going with it is it's a system of systems. And you're a project manager, and you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't do the admin correctly, you're going to set yourselves up. So we've been sitting here all summer. We don't have a road condition survey. We're throwing aggregate that's state approved into potholes, which is not what DSA is for. Okay, and my 3 minutes is up. I could go on and on, but Valerie, you are 100% correct. There needs to be a level of decorum and a level of respect, and it goes both ways. And for us to sit here and not have the materials for our road crew to work, not have a computer system that our secretary can put things on so that we don't have to do, I've paid $1,000 almost in right to know requests. You better believe I'm upset. The bids that came in from every one of the things that you have bid out, that you've advertised and gotten bids from, every one of them in the packet Megan gave me had a CS 4171, except for Marcus Cole Construction. So I would ask you to make sure that you know you're getting state approved if you think you're paying for state approved, because it's anywhere from $5 to $10 more a ton. And that's my tax dollars. Thank you, and I'm sorry that I went over the time.
Thank you, Rosemary. Next on the agenda is Aaron Grotzman, but he was able to settle his question with Tony, so we can move on to Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Lundy, you did not attend the June meeting, and I still have some visual difficulty out of my left eye, so I'll admit, I did not get to read your June 8th report until the other day. Do you have that in front of you?
No, I don't think so. Not June 8th.
I had a photograph of it on my phone, and my phone died on the way in. So in your June 8th report, you described that somewhere around June 8th, And we know from what Ms. Firestein said, we had already received a lot of trucks from Marcus Cole. Mr. Cole called you, correct? Mr. Cole called you?
Called me the other day.
June 8th.
June 8th.
It's in your June report.
I don't think it was Mr. Cole, I think it was the secretary, or the representative there.
What did they tell you?
I don't remember, June, I can't remember if that was the time that they had to switch quarries or I don't remember what time that was.
They had to switch quarries, why?
Because they found that the sample or that the material that they were getting was not up to.
Was not state
His
approved, would not
standards.
pass the test.
Right.
So Mr. Cole just sat here and told me that his only source of gravel is mine ID 36-09474, correct? So how long have we been using gravel on our roads that is not state certified? And when did you find out about it? And why did you continue to do it?
That's not even the point. The point is we paid
No,
for
we
it.
used it for, so we found out. I think we found out like that day, or we found out and we ended up, it's only about a day or two, because we were on Dunkley, because we had to stop. Dunkley or Braddock, it was Dunkley, I believe. So it's probably a day, maybe two. And that's all we just stopped, we were running out anyway.
All right, I'm not gonna grill you all night.
So I want to read from
Please.
Mr. Lundy's report.
Please,
Okay, June,
please.
On June 8th, I received a call from Cole Quarry telling me that the DSA that was being produced and was bad. And Mr. Cole, the owner, needed to stop operation and move their entire site. A majority of that DSA lost all aggregates on Dunkley Hill Road, and now we need to touch up in the road in certain areas. We had spread 13,240 feet of DSA on the road, and roughly 1,300 to 1,400 feet of it needs touched up due to bad material. Mason and I have been in talks with Cole, and they are trying to see how they can refund us or make it correct.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, that's your time, I'm sorry.
I think it was 1,300 is what I meant to say. I think it's 13,000.
Well, now the time for it has voice.
So I'm going to go back to my point, though. My point
Well, but wait a second.
is not so much.
If I'm being respectful, as you just told me I'm not being, by, I guess, I don't know, you said that there needs to be respectful ways. I'll respect the fact that your 3 minutes is up. You also spoke during Mr. Kelly's part of his 3 minutes, so you've had more than your time. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to respectfully tell you that we have to move on. I apologize.
Can I respectfully ask you?
Nope, we're gonna move on. Mr. Burns?
Tressa, you're missing the
I know
biggest
that you
point in
were
the room.
Not on here, but you
It's
were
just a
supposed
message.
to be
I'm
on
sorry.
here.
It's been way too.
So your
Yeah,
message was just late,
Yeah, I apologize.
but you should have been on the list.
Alright, everybody knows who I am, I think. Joe Burns, 1472 Weaver Road. First, a thank you to the supervisors. Everybody knows I have a store now. Well, my wife and I have a store now, so. But, really wanted to have it in the township. Obviously, did not work out. Some roadblocks there. I know some of you on the board, you guys really supported us, tried to help us. I know, John, you did support me, so I appreciate that. But with that, to the other people that didn't, I want to thank you for my store. I want to thank you for not pushing me out of the township, but pushing me into success. Because Athens Borough took their arms out like this. I've lived in the township my entire adult life and part of my childhood. All right? I've had 3 businesses in the township. Can anybody tell you, on one hand, how many people have stopped and come up to my house and said, thank you for bringing your business to Athens Township? 0. The first day I started renovations in my building after I closed on it, Hutch stopped. If you guys don't know who that is, Chris Hutchison, he's the code officer down there. And Mark Burgess, which is our borough manager down there, both stopped. Come in, shook my hand and said, did you get the building? I said, yeah. Thank you for bringing your business to Athens Borough as well. 3 days later, walking down the street was the mayor, Todd Babcock. You guys know who he is. Come over, shook my hand, and said, thank you for bringing your business to Athens Borough. Had an investor call me the other day. He has a couple houses, wants me to renovate because, still going to do the construction because I'm an idiot. So I got to do a couple of renovations for this guy. he says, I'm thinking about bringing my investments up your way, because he's from Southern PA. He goes, where should I go? I said, Athensboro. I said, because that's where you want to take your business, because they are with open arms. I hated Athens Township. I did. I'm sorry. You know, there's a lot of you that do support us. You know, as far as the store, I really don't think I did anything wrong. John went through there with a fine tooth comb. What we wanted to do, Ed Reed should have just signed off on my permit and we should have won it. And he kept saying, well, they. Okay, who's they? One, we know, I know Cindy Parrish is one of them. I know she's gone. See you later. Don't come back. And I'm turning that into the UCC. Does anybody know the UCC? It's Uniform Commercial Code. They're the bosses. Once I turn him into them, they're gonna fine tooth comb him. Because one, what he did here, I can tell you what he said to that lady. Yeah, you gotta jump through hoops. No, you don't. You sign some paperwork, you get your insurance, you get to have your events. That's it. He roadblocked me. I don't know why. I don't know what his problem is with me. Never had a problem. I've always done everything right. I've had people telling me you should have started building it. Because you want to know why? I know 9 projects going on right now. Residential. People are going to live in these places. They don't have to have a permit. They talk to Ed Reed. Don't worry about it.
What about the one that's going on?
No, hey, just Ed Reed, yeah, don't worry about it. Why does he pick and choose who has to have a zoning permit, building permit? Because if you're going to live in it, that goes through code inspections. He gives you your $50 zoning so you can go get your code inspections. I'm not going to throw these people under the bus because it's not their fault. Okay.
Oh, you're using the Kingsleys? The Kingsleys, right? How they
No, there's 9 other ones. I said, don't you just hush. I'm not going to throw these people under the bus.
Why? They go here to get their hair done.
It doesn't matter. It
Like
doesn't
2
matter.
of the
I'm just
people
saying.
here go
What
get
I'm
their
trying
hair
to
done
say,
up
this
there.
isn't about
They
them.
do
It's
not have
about
a
Ed
permit and
Reed.
they have a hair
Because
salon.
we all live in frickin'
I have
township,
3
and they
minutes.
suck.
Okay,
Hold
well,
on,
keep talking
hold
then.
on,
All
we
right.
have someone who's.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
So something has to be done about that. Period. And discuss it. I'm gonna take care of that. You guys might want to take care of it. That's fine. But the UCC, that's above you guys. And luckily, I got family that has connections, so we're good. I'm gonna report it, and they're gonna investigate him, and whatever happens, happens. I really don't care at that point. You know, it's sad that I come to these meetings. I've been coming to these meetings for years. Like I come a couple times a year. All right, and it's just some people, I guess, they like to get yelled at because nothing really changes. As a zoning officer, as a supervisor, as somebody, when we come to you guys, it ain't supposed to be about no or saying, well, you know, you do this. No, you're supposed to teach us and help us get to yes, help us get to what we want to achieve, because we are a community. That's what we're supposed to do.
Amen.
I mean, that's what Hutchinson and Burgess did. When I called them and said, hey, what's your regulations down there? This is what I want to do for my gun. He's like, hey, if you can get the state approvals, you can do whatever you want. That's exactly what, and he goes, you're not gonna be hanging animals down there, right? I said, no, I'm not butchering down there. I said, this is what I want to do. And they were all for it. So that's what we should be doing. Is we've taken people, and that's what Ed should be doing. Not, you know, saying no, but hey, do this, and I'm gonna help you get there. This is all you have to do. Okay? And I know I'm over my time. To the road crew. Who trains the guys as far as like grader operators?
We usually send them over to Tim Robinson with the dirt gravel. We'll do a course and give them the basics, and then from there we just try to teach them where they're out.
Okay, because I mean I spent a lot of time at home after I had my surgery, so if I was able to just go outside and they were working Weaver Road, thank you, you know, for fixing it. But at the same time, you know, I even told the kid, come on, man, all he did is he dropped his blade level and just dug into the ground on the sides, and the water has nowhere to go. We got to get those roads crowned. You know, one road decides the grass and stuff weeds into the center of the road.
Yeah.
Take your backhoe, get rid of it, dump it in my yard, and I'll spread it out. I don't care, but get rid of it, and then so you can crown the roads. We need somewhere for the rain to go. Otherwise, it's going right down the road.
Yeah, because we ran out that week, and we were supposed to we were doing actual DSA, like doing a layer of it around the week of the 19th. We're supposed to be there at Highland week of the 19th, Weaver 26th. We didn't have any material to crown it with, so.
Tony, when you put the DSA down, how deep do you put it?
Try to go well, at least 4 inches.
At least
We don't have spreader box, so we have to try to set the chains the best that we can on the tailgates, the tailgate spread.
Mr. Billis, thank you for your comments.
Thank you, Mr.
Moving on to the Township Authority, the last meeting minutes that we have is July 20th. And it was noted that, it was a good month for their maintenance and that they were able to get, some of the delinquents out. And that the next meeting was on the 17th. They didn't say that there was any issues. So that takes us to the Planning Commission. And, I believe that there was also an oversight with Cindy's leaving and a bunch of other stuff. So I think that we need to make a motion to add something to the agenda. Is that correct, Marianne?
Yes.
And what exactly do you need us to add to the agenda?
The, Dandy corporate building, on Mile Lane, their, final plan approval.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to add the, final approval for the Dandy Corporation's plan.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, go ahead.
They did some renovations on the corporate building. Over on Mile Lane. These are the as-built. We recommend you guys the final plans to apply no conditions. Any questions at all?
Rail project manager for Davis.
Would you explain to the rest of the board at the time, what you did, just as a refresher from previous?
Yeah, so, we built a warehouse out back. Did I come up there?
Does that help? How far back are you there?
3.1.
So the first phase of this was building this warehouse out back, which is now housing all of our warehouse stuff that was in this part of our building here. And this part of the building was turned into offices, training room. We added this addition off the back, there's a test kitchen, do food sampling and testing and different things like that, training. And then there was some landscaping that was done up front, 3 lane stripes.
So I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we grant final plan approval. Williams Company Corporate Center.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you all.
And the next thing I have is, I had sent a letter to you guys regarding the secretary. And some people might have thought it was a little more involved in more details. But I wanted to do reflect the things that our secretary has to do. It's not that we need a full-time person, but we need someone that takes our minutes, and prepares them and makes sure all the deadlines that are met. So we need somebody to take care of the work. It's on the agenda area. We just wanted to spell out what we were, what my responsibilities are.
Thank you very much.
And, other things we have is the, care centers and,
Excuse me, could you not have the private conversations? She's trying to talk and other residents are trying to.
You
hear
told me
what
to be
she's
quiet
saying.
one more time and it's not
Hey.
gonna be pretty. I'm from Athens
we
Township.
are going to review that. And, if we have to, confer with John on something, end up putting in our zoning ordinance.
And you can stop me here in too. The other thing we've asked Eddie to do is contact some local, I guess, engineering or consultants to help us get through and get these things together. And we should have something in September
Yes.
to bring back to the board with a recommendation to help us. Because we've been diddling with this for so long that.
We've been trying to do it on our own, and not taking money, and we've got a lot of it done.
Right.
But now it's like, somebody's got to, and the money has been allocated for quite some time, cities, because it has to be professionally, we have the input and all the details. Except we have to do data centers and there's one or two other minor things that we have to finish out. So we need somebody to format it, print it, and go through all of that.
And then we're gonna jump into plan subdivision.
Yes. So. That's on our agenda.
Great, thank you, Marion.
Certainly.
Next we have the Township Volunteer Fire Company. I know that Mr. Steinfeld is here today from the fire company, if you'd like to, give us an update.
Yeah, maybe late in the mood a little bit. Yes, I got reminded why I don't come to these things very often. But anyway, the fire company this year is 50th anniversary. In the township. So October 10th, we're gonna host an event up there. That's gonna be kind of a Fire Safety Week, Fire Prevention Week. So we're gonna have different entities come in. We're talking about Lake Valley Energy. We're gonna talk to Tri-County about having them come in and do a Safety City thing. The police department, state police, a whole bunch of different agencies come and be there for fire prevention. More details to come. If you don't follow our Facebook page, please follow our Township Fire Facebook page. See what's going on. So more details to come on that. The other thing that I just wanted to bring up is Saturday, September 19th. We're doing our Sportsman's Night at Fire Hall as well. Put a flyer on the window out front there. You can buy tickets ahead of time or you can get tickets at the door to come in. It's $40, includes all your food and drink, and a chance for the grand prize raffle, and then we do raffles throughout that evening as well. As always, the Township EMS is always looking for help and support from the community. A lot of people don't think about the fire company until they need us. We have been super busy the last 3 weeks. I think something happened that said, hey, you guys weren't busy enough the whole July, so let's just do it all. So we've been running calls a lot and very limited numbers of staff. It's a lot for me. Like I teach school, I do the volunteer fire company. We try to do as much as we can. I think we do a pretty darn good job in the township here, and with the help of some of the local companies as well. But I think we do a pretty good job. If anybody has questions for the fire company, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
What are you raffling off?
So this is our Sportsman's Night, is like a gun raffle evening. So we have several different calibers, choices, a lot of times choice of what you would like. But that evening that we have here, $40 again, that just gets you right in the door, all your food and drink that you want for the night. And that's the chance at the grand prize, which we have 3 grand prize items this year. So you get to choose from one of those. Each of those are roughly $1,000 item. what's inside, you don't know what's in there. Sometimes it's like a shotgun, sometimes it's something else that could be worth a lot more money. So anyway, that's one of the things. This is like one of our biggest fundraisers throughout the year that we're doing right now. If you don't know, it costs $12,000 to $15,000 to outfit one fireman. One. Nothing is getting cheap. As soon as you put the word fire on it, it automatically triples in price. Could be a 50-cent flashlight from Walmart, and now it's going to be $10. So anything like that, we appreciate township residents' support. We're always looking for people. If you're interested in trying to join or help in different ways and capacities, you don't have to go into a fire to be part of the fire company. We've got lots of other things that we can use help with. So it's our president, fire chief, whatever, because it's not enough people. So we appreciate everybody's support. Though that's our big thing here coming up, just to let everybody know.
I think you guys do an outstanding job. I was there when Mr. Blake's house caught on fire. I called you when my house caught on fire. Outstanding luck. Fortunately, I had it out before you guys got there.
It does take
When
a
you
while.
call the fire company, you really need them.
It takes a while. Just as in,
I've never called the police, although a couple times they did show up.
just as an example, okay, our average response time to a call, like as soon as we get it on our pager, usually 1 to 2 minutes before somebody's on the radio saying they're going somewhere. But to get the truck out the door, and if we're out, like out by you guys or out by my place, like it takes 10 to 15 minutes to get there, you know, and people are screaming, where's the fire? It just, we gotta go 8 miles to get there, plus get the crew, plus, you know, all that stuff. So that's just some of the, I guess, barriers that we face when people say, where's the fire?
I've got a quick question.
Sure.
Does anybody in the room know currently how many bridges are closed in the immediate vicinity? 3? 4?
Well, it's one lane over here, it's over there now for us to get to.
Obviously, you guys have priority, but you always have that one guy who won't get out of the way.
So, but I mean, there's challenges that we face, and we adapt to that. Like the bridge is closed, okay, we've got the neighboring fire company on first alarm or whatever, because it's gonna take us longer to get there. They're closer now because the bridge is closed, so we adjust for that. Like we plan well. Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Steinbeck. Okay, next we have the Parks Department. I don't see anyone here tonight. I know Lee's not here, so they did have their meeting in August. The restoration for Pavilion 7 and 8 is complete, and the signage has been ordered. He did say that they didn't hear anything from the corrections to get the inmates to help work with Barry, and they're still working on getting the new park rules up. But and if you see they definitely have the flyers, but I know that they're trying to get some new photos on the Endless Mountains, and that's good too. They are, it looks like, hosting an overnight hike September 19th starting at 11 a.m. and going into September 20th at noon. This is taking place at Round Top Pavilion 9 in the lower section of the park. The registration is $15. It covers the cost of dinner and will help support a local restaurant, it says in the area, and registration closes by September 15th. It doesn't actually say on here where you would apply or get an application, or I'm sorry, a registration. So
You go to the Athens Mountains website.
So you just go to the website.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds like a fun.
Excuse me, Tressa, did I read that they put fresh concrete on the road up to Round Top? I thought I specifically saw it down on maybe I'm mistaken. I thought I read that Mr. Merklin purchased it.
I don't see that here, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen because Parks has their own budget.
Like 77 tons, $2,400. We paid for it and we went up and picked up, graded off the washed off area. There was about a 600 foot, 700 foot section that was completely washed out with the rain, and we did the backside bobcat, just made sure we created the whole length of the road, and break it back.
Alright, that takes us to the Public Works Department.
P&G's, what's on the agenda? That was something that we tried to talk about last month, and I'm funny. You had spoke to the gentleman.
Yes, and he would hold that price to the end of the month, yes, he did extend that for us.
So just trying to.
We could meet again.
Right, we're just trying to get P&G in here just to kind of help out, so there's no bias against whose roads are the worst, and they can tell us, it's gonna help us analyze what might cost. I mean, it's something that's professionally done, and there's records of it, so we can get a better plan than just trying to track it by pen and paper, which people have been doing for years, and it's just not, it doesn't work. So, I know Bonnie's been talking to the representative quite a
For
bit.
those that weren't here for the demo, that was what we discussed last month, to, discuss and deliberate if that's the direction that we want to go. Most of it, the majority that was here, even last month, and when they did the demo, were in favor. They really felt that would be good. That's a way to not bias. Some of you may not like it because your road may not be on that for next year. They basically come in, they do the assessment, they assign a project manager, if you will, to the project. They take pictures, they do videos, they do sizing of the roads, and they look at the big picture, the usage of the road, and based on that, we have the guidance to go by even for budgeting, so it's good for a number of things. We do have the annual fee, like we had talked about. We do have a 30% we need to come up with because of they have mobile, so they'll be here doing all of the assessment. There will be things that Tony will need to provide for them. They're going to have some maps. But if we decide in the 2 years that it isn't something that we want to continue with, because it's good, that amount of 20,500, 20,300 is good for that 2 years, and then we reevaluate. If we decide as a township it's something that we can manage, we do not lose the data. The data is the township's. We do maintain that. If we decide that we feel we can do it on our own, then we don't spend any more with them. We have the data, and it's up to us to manage it and maintain it.
My question is, do we have the budget? And where in the budget would it come from?
We established a couple things, and it'd be coming from the Act 13 funds as we're making other resolutions later on in the segment for the vessels. The middle of the asphalt be paid for. Establishing a resolution to add the funds of the $21,550 for this payment management group for the services. So that's where it comes from. Like you said, there's a 30% upfront fee, which is roughly $5,500, and then from that point on, as the progress continues and the work is almost done, they bill monthly. So.
Okay, any questions?
Where's that data gonna be stored at on the company?
It
Is that
doesn't,
cloud-based?
I don't see where it says in here,
He said it's.
but I would assume that, well, it says that it's on key, I mean, it's ongoing support, so I would assume they would put it in cloud.
Yeah, it'll be in cloud, because they'll be working with us throughout this whole process.
And it would just update daily.
Yeah,
And who's gonna be providing them all the material they need, the maps and
and
everything?
again, it's gonna be the office here, Tony, and will probably be Megan, and Eddie for mapping. And then they'll be coming and they'll be taking their own pictures too. They'll be doing their own photos.
They're basically gonna survey the entire township, every inch of every mile of the roads.
They have their own degradation scale too, the tele map. and it'll show, there's a chart that will show degradation. You can even group the degradation level for which ones are the worst, click on that, and it'll separate out, tell you exactly what roads they are that need to be worked on first, and so on and so forth. And then it'll have a future outlook for cost as well, for what you spend and what you do on the roads each year for how your degradation level will change. And it's adaptive based off the information they take and what they get from us on what roads would work. It gets updated live.
So I think it should be made clear, though, that they are gathering data and providing data to the township. The township still is the decider on what roads are
Oh,
worked,
absolutely,
what
based on the
funds are
data,
used,
yes.
what type of aggregate.
Right.
And like we keep saying, month after month after month, you probably group projects together so that you don't have to, I don't know, maybe you could take the stockpile out to a place where you're working and not have to, you know.
Which reminds me, quick
frustrating.
question. Are we stockpiling material at Ellistown?
No.
I know.
Right out the old Hebrews quarry where our pit was. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, sir.
All right, back when I worked here, Susak and I had Midland came in. We did bore tests on every road in this township. Every road. There was great big long wooden crates out here with jars of samples. All the paperwork was in there, what needed to be done each road. The measurements was done, and then Chuck came in and threw them away. So we're gonna pay for this twice. That was paid for.
If it's thrown away, we don't have the information for it anymore. So
Hey,
that's what we can do.
why isn't it in your guys' records? Midland did it,
What year?
so
I don't know, that's quite a while, so I would assume that everything has changed
back before
anyway.
COVID, just before COVID, so.
So it would be outdated. Yeah, for sure. Okay,
What's that?
any other discussion?
How deep were the samples?
What's that?
They were core samples,
They
right?
were core samples, they were,
How deep?
if I remember, I think they were 8 inches deep.
8 inches deep?
Below,
So from
below the,
2019 to 2026, there's
below
not
the
gonna
where,
be any
the
change.
where, the,
Other than road surface, gonna be a lot closer.
right.
Well, I'm sure that any records that we have that are anything that even that Midland could provide back to us that had any kind of information they would take into consideration.
But what I'm
that
saying
kind of
is,
system.
what they come in, they do the bore sample, it don't cost half as much. You and I can all drive down these roads and tell you they're shit. But the pictures of it is not gonna tell you what's under the surface. You gotta know what's under the surface so you know what to do, how to build a base, what to put in there.
Thank you. Any discussion from any of you?
No.
Do I have a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion that we move forward with the payment management group system.
Do I have a second? Motion by Bonnie and a second by Matt. I'm not sure if you could hear it down there, Megan. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed to that. We're paying a road foreman $70,000 a year to GoPro camera and ride around the town. You should have been done a year ago, should have been done 2 years ago, should have been done 3 years ago. I do it myself, but I can't drive.
With that, the motion passes.
Can you again say where those funds are coming from? Do you know the
Act 13.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, truck repairs 1, 4, and 7.
So truck one had a couple months ago, it had to go over to Ford next door for its national recall. It had something on this, it was a clock spring or something on the steering wheel. We took it over, they just replaced it with something minor. But after that, it seemed like the steering got really loose, to the point where it was just really squirrely when you're driving it. So I went over and asked them if they could take a look at it just to see if it was something to do with the recall. And they went and looked, and what it is the steering shaft is starting to rot, and then the upper and lower is the hardware to it. So, I mean, based off of their quote, it's going to be easily 1,500-1,600 just to replace that. I haven't had a chance. We're trying to get Andy, the other mechanic down here, to look and see if we might be able to fix it cheaper. I mean, I know sometimes working over there, it's at a dealership, it's a lot better. And then truck 4, which is the blue one, the 98, that had its frame replaced like 10 years ago, and it cracked right underneath where the ram is. I had Watson come down, and they said they can fix it. So what they're gonna do is they'll basically just be able to just cut a V-notch at it and just do a smaller repair. That way it's drivable and it's workable.
Who fixed it last time?
It was Watson, the same
They
one.
didn't weld it up right, which is why the cap separated from the front.
Right. And
So we're gonna go back to these guys?
Oh, unfortunately, they were the only ones around.
Maybe if we washed the trucks once the
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Doesn't have anything
It's
to do
the
with it?
fact that it's like 30 years old. I mean, I know you think
2009 to 26.
So then truck 7 has thinning rails underneath the back. That's what we found out. And actually, I think Parnell had looked at that. So we had them come down and check it out. And instead of doing a full rail replacement, they recommended doing a wrap. That would secure it for a couple of years. I mean, but it would also be within regulations, so you could still get it get it inspected and stuff.
What would they say I mean, just, I'm curious, I guess, to know, if the frame wrap would last a few years.
Yeah.
What's the alternative to fixing it without the frame wrap? Like, what would they do to fix it longer?
They would have to take it all apart and put a completely new double frame sticker rail on it. I mean, it would probably be more than the truck's worth. I mean, the truck's 2015.
The tractor pull the truck apart, cut that whole section out, throw a sleeve inside, and then new frame changes.
Right.
Mr. Thompson, you're an attorney. If one of our employees was killed in a truck where we rebuilt the frame twice, are we gonna have any liability on that?
Potential.
I'm not putting my son in it. We have 2 trucks with rotted frames and 1 truck
I got one truck that's
got a broken frame.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting on the one coming from Radco.
We had a triaxle we set on fire. We blew up a backhoe.
How long before the new truck comes? Do we know?
They're saying maybe they can get it in there earlier. The bed is down there. They're talking about hopefully they can get it in September now. And instead of take about 2 months to put that together, and once it gets out of Bradco, then it's got to go back down to Tunkhannock to go through the post, the post frame inspection
Certification.
Yeah, the certification, and then it has 2 or 3 national recalls on it already.
And we haven't even got it yet.
Right. And then it gets to us. So it's January, maybe December, maybe.
I realize you've only been here less than a year. What is our procedure when we load the trucks to salt?
Load them salt. I would tell them just don't load it. We don't want to do heaping loads to where it's too high. We want to make sure that it's the center.
Okay. Do we load the truck the day of the storm? I mean, it's gonna start snowing at 7 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We don't preload.
We don't preload. Okay.
No, just because I don't want too much weight sitting there and waiting.
Well, you don't want 4 inches of snow melting through the salt rotting the frame of the truck.
So
What may be more likely with your frame brakes is they've gone out for 26 years overweight, over and over and over. And your rear ends blowing out of that truck are probably because drivers have left your rears locked, which you cannot do because you will blow rear ends out.
So Tony, this, is just for truck 4 and 7 for this purchase order?
Yes.
Any other discussion on this? I mean, I don't see that we have any options.
You have an option, I sent it all to you in an email.
Yeah, and I called.
The dealer in Kirkwood
I
has
did
trucks.
call him, I did call him, leave a message, and I haven't heard nothing back.
And I would dare say, get a loan, you can pay for it every year with liquid fuels, year over year, and they have the truck in Kirkwood right now. Plow ready, 4-in-1 combination box, tandem, ready to roll. I don't know the price because I never called the dealer in Kirkwood, but I put it in the email to everyone but John.
I think we're better off buying a new truck, start looking for a new truck. I mean, if I learned one thing in the Southern California car industry is you don't fix junk. Okay, the frame's riding it out on the truck. We don't need to know anything else. Go put another piece of D-channel steel in there, and then that lasts how long? Or they bend the frame welding, but you can't do anything, so they have to drill holes.
Well, the most obvious thing here is the quotes on the aggregate.
What do you mean?
$80,000 if you pick it up, and $150 if they bring it to you. What the hell? $70,000 to deliver.
But we don't have trucks to go get it.
That's my point.
Buying a new truck. The new truck we still don't have. It's been how many years? And it has recalls.
Tony found another one, we have funds for another. So maybe able to money.
Jesus.
Where's that, like, so do you fix one and not fix the other, and use the other one to get that other truck?
If we got 14 inches of snow tonight, how many trucks can we plow with? Safely.
I mean, I guess that,
3 dumps and truck 13, which is mid-size.
So you're gonna send a guy out in a plow truck with a rotted frame and a rope?
No, rope, no, that will go. No, that'd be truck 7, 8, and 3, which is small.
Truck 1. Has anybody checked the wheel bearing? I mean, we're gonna buy tires for it. Now we got something rotted out in the steering column.
Yeah.
Has anyone checked the ball joints and the bearing?
Andy had just went through and did a service on it. And there wasn't anything, with the wheel bearings, but again, they needed to come back anyways because he's supposed to be coming back tomorrow because we finally got the cylinder in through that mower out there that has the tractor that has the mower, so they had to replace that one. I just got that in today. So I want them to go through it and see what we can do.
Okay, so add something to what might not have been brought top of mind is that truck number 1, 2016 Ford F-250. I know that it was mentioned before to start doing a replacement schedule for vehicles, and when I submitted for the grant, I included that that was gonna be something to start, and that's what we were gonna use the money for. So this may be an opportunity to utilize the rest of those funding.
To replace truck 1.
To replace truck 1.
Truck 1 is the one truck that we have that has a plow on, that mounts the plow and the salt spreader in the back. Unless we try to outfit truck 6.
So I can see what the options are. That's something.
Do we plow snow with truck 1?
Yes.
Because we wanna see if there's an option for us to buy, and we the great one. Alright, then I'm gonna make a motion that we take number 2 and we table that. Do some investigation as far as the truck that we could purchase with the grant funding. To replace truck 1, and then see about what we can do for trucks 4 and 7 with that other truck that we've been investigating, Tony, so that we can hopefully make something happen. So that's, my motion. Do I have a second?
Before you do that, can I ask a question, please? How much funding is still in Act 13 that you haven't budgeted yet? Because a month ago, there was 1.6 million. I know you were looking at budgeting some of that, and I don't remember the amount. And you also said something about moving liquid fuels into general funds for something.
He can look, I mean, Mason can look and find that answer for you. I just would like to
One
table
second,
number
please.
2. Wait, do I have a second? To table number 2.
What?
Yeah.
Matt, second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Excuse me?
Motion
Why would you guys
passes.
table?
Say that again?
Why would you table that?
Because we would like to have more time to be able to find out if we can replace truck 1 using grant money that we've secured, and then see if we can investigate the truck that Tony has found in order to try to replace either truck 4 or truck 7 before we get any more money into those 2 trucks that would get us deeper in debt instead of just getting a new one. So we're gonna investigate those 2 things before we make a decision.
This isn't the first time it's been brought up to the meeting. So why are we tabling it?
Well, we have 2 options that I would like to explore, and I'm not the only one.
Right, but there's been months that it could have been figured out.
Okay, but it wasn't, so now we need to do something about it. So in order to
Table
do
it.
something about it, we table it so that we can find out information and at the next meeting get the information. I didn't see this on the information from the last meeting, at least I don't remember it. So, I mean, I don't know what.
Y'all have
to
money in the
say.
bank?
We
You
were
got money in the
waiting-
bank to buy a truck, don't you?
We're waiting
No.
for lots.
Yeah, they do.
I showed it to you.
Get
Alright,
rid of
so
the loss
stone
on the
roller,
hand.
Tony, wait, are we tabled it. There was nobody that opposed it.
I didn't hear that first.
Sorry, stone roller, Tony,
The stone roller, this is that little asphalt roller that we have, is, I don't know, 50 to 60 years old. The back part of the dry shaft, the coupler that runs the back drum is cracked in half, so the back drum won't even move. I mean, Andy had taken it apart, we're trying to find parts for it, but being that old, I mean, even trying to get it fabricated, it just, next time we need to start looking for a new one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Mr. Scott secure a grant for another small one?
I was,
No.
that's what I was told, but I don't know.
No, there was discussion for what was gonna be presented and for the application for the LSA, and it was, after options were discussed, it was the 2 trucks.
What part do you need?
It's a coupler on the rear, we got it sitting out there on next to the roller, it's like a donut.
Anybody run down to Ulster Machine Shop, see if they can make one?
I know Andy was checking, trying to see what we could do. The problem was we were trying to do hot mix, so at the same time, so we had called Mike over at Cat, and we had enough to rent it. So it's just trying to see if we can get something fabricated. But Andy was doing research and Mike, and we couldn't find anything. So
You might wanna check with the machine shop. I'm gonna tell a quick story here. We had an old crane up at Porter's, and we ripped the rear end out of it. And I was charged with finding the part. And long story short, 2 weeks after calling virtually every junkyard, everybody we could talk to, we had a guy in Minnesota that was gonna call us at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to help us out. I answered the phone, he said, Mr. Kelly, he said, the man you needed to talk to died in 1975. So we hired a machinist to make the part. It wasn't cheap.
keep us posted, please, Tony. The mower update,
We got the cylinder for it today. It was the pusher cylinder. Was it SEI? Got a hold of them and they shipped it out with this guy today. So they're gonna come tomorrow. Andy's gonna come tomorrow. We're gonna get that hooked up so we can try to get the mower back out and going.
Okay. And the machine equipment operator vacancy.
That was you and I had spoken to the gentleman. It's the only applications we've got. So I mean, he seemed pretty with it. I mean, he has pretty good references. But like he told us, you and I, he's operated, but he's not like a grader operator. He doesn't know how to run a loader and some of the basics, and he has driven dumps and heavy trucks.
Right.
We have a loader operator to teach me.
Yeah, I mean, I could teach him how to do it. I know Mike was taking Heather out, and we were trying to get her familiarized, and she started to feel more comfortable on it. So just have to work with him on the files.
And with no other options. Yeah, you would be in the one for sure.
Yeah, I know we're gonna bring the excavator down here. I told Mike and I were talking, so I don't want to put ganglands, especially in the winter. I need it down here where we can use it to at least load trucks and pour eye on it. So that'll help a little bit. Trying to get these things going.
Okay, so we just need a motion to hire. Do you have his contact information?
It's on my desk. Someplace I do. I don't have it with me.
Because we would need to hire him at an MEO1.
Yeah, and I think pretty sure we'd spoken or said something about that in the pay, and he said what he was really more focused on was benefits. So he was fine with the start.
So, can we discuss this in executive session?
Yep.
Yeah.
Back out? Sure.
Yeah.
That takes us to the Athens Township Police Department. There were 219 calls for service with 22 citations and 33 warrants issued. There are 125 outstanding warrants with 13 served. We had 4 reportable accidents, 2 non-reportable, and 4 non-reportable. There was $198,491.57 worth of stolen property and $1,772.11 recovered. We patrolled 5,850 miles with 498.8 gallons of gas used. And there's everybody else from the department. I just need a motion to accept the monthly reports.
I'll make that motion.
Can I ask a question? I addressed this last month about Athens Township and Riverside Drive. I was going to ask the policeman how often they did police Riverside Drive, and did they cite or ticket anybody for speeding or passing in the wrong lanes, etc. So that's what I was here for tonight, to ask if there was some kind of update.
Chief's not here, but we can see if Brad can cut. Mr. Wilson, could you come in? Ms. Pearson has a question about last meeting. She was here asking about the Riverside Drive issue, and she wondered if there was an update.
Yeah, so we have been doing a lot of patrols through Riverside Drive. We've been going all the way up to the boat launch back. We have had some stops and some contacts with vehicles and that.
How many?
That I wouldn't know unless I go to my computer and look it up.
Could you do that for the next meeting for
I
me?
can look it up, yes ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'll have the chief.
Okay, well, I'm interested in how many citations you gave, how fast they were going, did they pass in unpassable periods on that road, any time from
the east end and south side, but primarily from the Sarah River Bridge up to Cranberry Pond.
Yeah, I can get with Chief Thomas and, pass this along so we
Okay,
can.
thanks a lot.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Ron's motion on the table is to accept the monthly reports. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Motion to pay the monthly bills.
Motion. Pay the monthly bills.
Ronnie's motion, Matt second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I'm gonna oppose that because we don't know what we're talking about. And nobody in the audience knows what to, did you say you second?
No, I said there's, the bills list is sitting out there to review when you walk in.
It's public. It's there. And it's in your packet too. Ahead of time.
That won't matter.
Paul, I noted that you oppose.
Thank you.
And the motion passes. Approval of the minutes from the supervisors meeting on July the 29th. I just need a motion.
I'll make a motion to, accept the meetings from 7:29.
I'll second. All in favor?
There were 3 people at that point. Ms. Heffern, Ms. Petrusek, and myself. We discussed bidding 7,000 ton of PA certified material. And I voted against it, so that motion or that did not pass. Why was it advertised?
Well, because we didn't know that there aren't gonna be 5 of us here.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I think there's confusion.
But it's a voting down.
Paul,
Not the advertising.
I think what he's trying to say is there was confusion with it. It wasn't voted down because there were only 3 and you were saying that you wanted to advertise for non-state approved,
Correct.
but what they advertised for was state approved. So I think there was.
What
the
I'm
time I was
saying is
trying
it-
to get,
it could not
I
go
was
forward.
asking, what are you
I think there was.
making a motion to do? And he said to re-advertise.
He said re-advertise, not state approved. But it was advertised. I think there was a lot of confusion during that discussion. But it wasn't a 2-to-1. That one wasn't a 2-to-1 vote.
So Bonnie made a motion to approve the minutes. I seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Now I have to abstain.
So we have Ron and Matt abstaining. Motion passes. Next.
I have a question. Yeah, nothing to do. Did I miss something up on Athens Township planning about the data center? Is what that.
Marion had said that they are putting together not a proposal, but the planning commission, if I'm right, Ron, has been looking at that for the past few months, and that they're by the September meeting, they should have more information for us that would be more updated as to the state and everything else that you've looked at. Is that right, Ron?
We're still okay with the moratorium on data centers coming in?
Right now, I believe we are.
Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
That's okay. It is hard. The error's on, and it's just a lot. Okay, next we have some discuss and consider the Kilmer Group insurance opportunity. So this looks like it would be an opportunity.
Representative.
Oh, good. Okay.
You mind if we come up just
No,
for 1 second?
absolutely. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Josh Keller from Kilmer Insurance, data leasing. I get it, nobody clears the room like an insurance discussion.
You just keep talking.
Yeah, just keep talking. No problem, we won't take too much of your time today. Just want to introduce myself. We've been specializing in municipal insurance for 40 plus years. Right down the road in Wyalusing, we currently represent about 130 townships, boroughs, and authorities, including quite a few of your neighbors. We had a very productive discussion with Megan and Mason to talk a little bit about what your program looks like. You guys have grown quite a bit over the last few years in both complexity and scale. And there are a lot of different services we offer, not just here's your insurance proposal. I'm not going to come out here once a year and talk to you about this is your program and we go to renew it.
Excuse me, just a minute, Ron.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I
Please.
know. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
What I'm driving at is when you look at an entity your size that's currently paying their insurance agent between 18 and 25 grand a year, just based on my rough estimates with your what you budget for your actual insurance premiums. What we talk to a lot of entities about is elevating what your service expectations are from your current agencies. Good agencies, they can all make vehicle changes, they can all answer the phone when you call. That's why they're in business. But for us, it's taking that service to the next level, right? You guys want to talk about, you've turned over a ton of staff in the last couple of years. What sort of training is being done for those guys? Like what's being given to the, your director of public works? You guys are already paying with the insurance company you have now, who we also represent, for all kinds of, training videos, services, things that are already available to you. I'm not sure if that's being conveyed to you guys and board of supervisors. So what I'm asking for tonight is an opportunity to talk to you guys, whether it's a finance committee meeting. I can come back and do it in one of these discussions. I do find the finance is a little smaller and it's a little bit easier to have a discussion, but it's fine however you guys want to do that. What we do is, you guys have been through the insurance spiel before. You're like, give us a bid, right? Show us what your numbers are. We don't really work like that. In the municipal world, we all represent, or most of us represent, similar insurance companies. So it's really about the quality of your agency and what they're willing to do for you for that same amount of money that you're paying, right? So for that same 18 to 24, 25 grand that you're paying your current insurance agent, I think we could do more for you guys. I think you deserve more, and I think there's lots of opportunities for you guys to entertain additional options. Of course, we would bring you alternative insurance quotes. That's part of what we do. When we structure that service out, we talk about the maintenance for the roads. The same is required of your insurance program, right? You need to be looking every 2, 3, 4 years at different companies. And what does that bring to you? One of the nice things about us, we represent a whole boatload of them, and we're right down the road in Wildwood. I served on the borough council. I had for 10 years down there, so I know exactly what it's like sitting in your seats, right? I worked for my borough for 3 years, so I've done a lot of the horrible things that you guys have to do on a daily basis. It's not great. So I'm very familiar, very comfortable with municipal work. I've been doing it for a long time. My agency's been doing it for a long time. So I would ask that you guys would consider that. The next step for us is just further discussion. And what we're looking for is put it up for a request for qualification, where you would put it up. This is what we're looking for. Have 2 agencies come and bring, or 3, whoever you want, right? And put together a proposal, not of what your insurance program looks like, but not just the number, right? Because that's what everybody looks at. And you guys are busy. You sit in these seats. You're gonna look at the bottom number. I can tell you right now, there's 3 or 4 things that you can fix within your current program, just because I know the insurance company that's with, and listening to what's going on here, there's some things that you probably need to think about. But again, that's not a discussion for today. But anyway, I'm Josh Kilmer. This is Matthew Woodruff from the Kilmer Group, right down the road in Wildwood. So, any questions on that? We did a little bit of work on your behalf. We looked at some of your claims history, and we provided that to you guys in your packet. We don't need to discuss that today, but I would ask you to look at that. That's just a sample of what we do for our customers.
Great. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Any questions?
Not at this point, but is that something when we do have our meeting that we report to you, could send a representative?
Yes.
Now, if it were a Saturday or a Sunday, is that still something you could do?
I'm here on what is today? Wednesday at 8 o'clock or 7:30. So yeah, I think I'm fine, right? Okay. No, that's no problem. And typically you guys renew in January, so this is a discussion we should probably be having
right
now.
You're thinking budgeting time.
Yeah, you're thinking budgeted time. You want to see what that looks like.
Okay.
So.
Thank
Any
you
other
so much.
questions? Megan, anything else you wanted me to hit on from what we talked about?
Do you need a lot of information from us? Or what kind of information are you gonna be looking at?
All
Oh.
all things.
I think it would be advisable to meet with a couple of us.
That is your
I'm
problem.
just suggesting that.
That's your problem.
To the board.
So we'd be happy to have further discussions with you guys. I would ask, coordinate that with Mason or Megan, and we're happy to have further discussions with you about the program, what it looks like, and how we might be able to help.
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And now, thank you guys very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Next we have Midland Asphalt, the seal coating invoice. Do we have a line item for this? Mason?
I'm gonna tell you already had it.
I would think we do, but to make the motion easier for Megan and for him.
Yeah, pretty sure it should be.
I thought it's coming out of Act 13 money.
Yeah, let's just,
Resolution.
let's just call it line item 439.709, 709, sorry.
Okay,
What was the cost? What was the number?
Cost is $62,789.50.
and did you say something about a resolution, Megan?
Yeah, it's in here a little bit further along from when the motion was made to the opening.
So we have the resolution. We just need to make a motion to adopt it, is this correct?
Yeah, we couldn't do it at the last meeting because Bonnie was not at the bid opening for the seal coating.
So it's just in two different places because it just is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll make a motion to execute resolution 2026-14 in order to, pay the invoice of $62,789.62. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So that should take care of 2 and 5, is that correct?
Yes.
Number 3, District Magistrate Office lease renewal.
Yes, as we previously discussed, I did receive oral confirmation of the approval of the lease agreement. I have drafted up a hard copy, I forwarded to the commissioners. I have not received back a signed copy as of yet. Although again, I don't anticipate that it's a problem, I think they just needed to have the fruit that they're moving and then fully execute.
Okay, good to know. Alright, Aaron Road Survey Study for reading. We have Larson Design Groups.
They had agreed to do the survey study for the budget amount that we had been $6,000.
Great.
And they had sent an updated schedule for how that would go. As far as the notice to proceed would be now, site visit and prepare report would be in September, and then completion would be in October. So it wouldn't have to wait. I did also hear back from Mid-10, the other engineering company that had been interested in giving us a proposal, but they said they would be they're still way too booked out to help right now.
Okay, that's good. Alright, zoning vehicle, the 2026 laser update.
We don't have this approved sign. It was just to push back to Larson, see if they would come down to the 6,000, so
we don't
formally.
So we do have to approve that, we didn't
Formally,
approve it
yep.
already. And you have that, cause I don't.
Yep.
Okay. And then,
Purchase orders there and the proposal.
so I just need a motion to approve. Yeah, the road study. Do I have a second? Alright, so Matt's, motion and Bonnie's second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Alright, motion passes for that road study. I guess I sign here. Next, that takes us to the zoning vehicle for the 2026 Blazer upgrade options.
I didn't get any additional
Information? Okay.
I spoke to Eddie yesterday. I did ask him to please get the lettering on the vehicle. And he didn't get any more quotes other than what was there.
Pretty simple task.
So, I don't know if we wanna go ahead with this or not. We outfitted a police car.
And he said there's not a lot of local
Not a
places
lot
that do
local.
what.
Next closest is Wilkes Barre.
Yes, that's what he states as well.
Are we going back to putting lights on this thing?
That is ridiculous. It's not a car.
Since it's out on the road,
So,
if you wanna step outside the car, do you wanna do any risk?
With the,
and I
with
don't
Eddie?
see
Are you serious?
I'm saying, if you move the driver
outfitting.
doing his task,
Right, but I don't see it.
Emergency vehicle.
I don't have anything.
Inspection guy.
I only have, the only one I had was high cal.
insurance
So that's, so either go with that or not.
That's a good question. Valerie made a good point. About putting lights on that car.
That's the one I have.
Why would you put lights on this stupid car? Yeah,
No, that's just the light package.
That's not the package.
of your road crew.
The lettering is only,
The lettering
it's
is
only $200, I think.
$200.
So it's underneath our
$250.
threshold.
That's fine.
I will say that Athens Borough Code Enforcement Vehicle has signs that say Athens Borough Code Enforcement and four ways.
Yes.
Yeah, four-way flasher.
Four-way
is-
flashers, standard lots.
And
I think they're available on all new models.
Crazy.
Isn't there a light on top too?
there is not. There is a magnetic light on Mark's
Yeah.
borough manager's car
Okay.
through the cigarette lighter that he constantly forgets to turn on.
Yeah, I think they have those, like the one light that you can plug in.
Like Kojak.
Yeah. Well, just about every gravel
Well,
road I've ever been into. The
Not
truck
everybody in the
stop,
room
yeah.
knows who Kojak is.
But they don't hit
Yeah.
I do.
Thought you were him.
Alright, so is there anything you
People.
want to do with this or no? At this point?
I'd say no.
Alright, moving on. Expand energy lease proposal, we have additional parcels that were revisited.
And I had informed him of the position of the township. I expect that he's going to be providing me with a clean lease. I do not have it as of yet. He also did bring up the possibility of leasing properties that the fire company owns.
That's not us.
No, but I've never received, I'm just giving you a full breakdown of the communications. I never received any specific information with regard to what parcels he was referencing. No.
Alright, next, Miller Road Bridge and Moore Road Bridge response forms and update. Looks like this.
I'm working with Ed and I need to get with Tony on the information that needs to be submitted back for So they can start planning the detours for the work on those bridges.
Did they give us dates?
Not yet.
Okay.
And I'm on that committee, who approved that committee last meeting.
Well, they did say in here that it, if I'm reading this right, subject to availability of funding, construction at the earliest is anticipated during the 2029 construction season.
That's right.
Yeah, from the tip.
From the
Condo.
tip, right.
Yep.
So, from the committee, I haven't spoken to Mr. Moore or Mr. London, but I am adding Nancy West. Marty Malone is a engineer out of Hollidaysburg. And I spoke to Tom Murphy at Montgomery last time.
I would like to be on this. If I could. Yes.
It's a committee.
Get the information.
Just for information.
Okay. Sounds good. The 2027 minimum municipal obligation figures, 3 plans.
I don't have it.
The PSATS UC Group Trust, we have the 2026 ballot for election of trustees. We have to return this by October 31st. I think that, we could do some due diligence and just do some research and get back to Megan on your thoughts. What do you think, John?
Their bios are on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the issue is, it's go for up to 2, and there's only 2 districts. There's only the 2.
Anyone have an issue? Alright, road closure request. I have a letter here from, Mr. Gabriel from the high school requesting, the road closure from, Pennsylvania Avenue, from the Blue Spruce Trailer Court to the entrance of Harlan Row Avenue or Harlan Row Middle School and Lynch Buston at Lily Avenue on September the 30th from 6 until the conclusion of the events for Cavalcade of Bands. This is where it says we kindly request the presence of your department to assist with traffic control until the conclusion of the event. Additionally, but more importantly, we seek your approval for the temporary closure of Pennsylvania Avenue for the duration of the activities. The time frame would roughly be 6 to the conclusion of the event. This is where bands from all over, like marching bands from all over our area come and perform at the high school. And in order to make it so that they can unload and load and get people back where they have to be and then go from the practice field on one side of Pennsylvania Avenue to the other side safely, they are just requesting that we shut the road down.
I'll make a motion to move forward.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Could you please pass that to Megan so she has that on record? That's the letter from Mr. Gabriel. Next, IRS mileage rate increase July 1st, 2026. This is the mileage rate, will increase from 72.5 cents to 76 cents per mile. This is effective July 1st, 2026 and remains in effect until December 31st of 2026. Nothing we need to do on that, just let us know.
How do we determine that?
That's the IRS, that's not us.
I'm not asking you that. We're paying mileage for somebody, correct?
If we go to conferences or if you go to like a meeting or something that they're doing for work, I would assume that that's the only time we're reimbursing.
And I would agree with that as long as that individual's driving their own car.
Right.
Right.
If they're taking a township vehicle.
Correct.
No, they don't pay.
Okay.
Correct.
Fair enough. Understood.
All right, general code, the E-code 360 annual maintenance invoice. This is for $1,295. This is to continue our those things. I keep saying code of conduct because that's all we're talking about in school now is code of conduct. But our municipal codes, this is keeping them online. So this is just our annual invoice for $1,295. I just need a motion to approve that and pay it. Say that again?
Is it the general that it's coming out of?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Yes.
So I just need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second? Yeah. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next we have the, area on aging, request for a contribution. So the Barack, Sullivan, Susquehanna, and Tioga counties are asking for a contribution to their area of aging. Says that Meals on Wheels costs $7.53 an hour to serve aid service to assist with personal hygiene or home support costs of $22.60. So they're asking us to please consider sending support to them. That might be something we can continue to think about as we get to budget season. Administrative assistant position review. So you have that position that we need to review in order to go over what needs to take place with that here in the office. So if everybody could take a look at that and review that.
And again, I'll volunteer to do it for free.
This is replacing
Thompson
Cindy's,
challenged
this
my
is replacing
skills
Cindy's
last
position.
Right.
And we're, looking at administrative assistant versus the part-time.
I'm sorry.
Doing for zoning and planning. This is all inclusive of the office staff.
Okay, so.
That's
So-
my dad.
So this is, we'll talk about that in a second, because we need to get this advertised. We are short staffed in that office.
So we'll come back to that one after we talk.
Yes.
So we think,
Before we move on, is this something we can post on our Facebook page to see if other people, maybe people might know about this, that other people donate to it?
I don't see why not.
Is something we can put,
I'm not.
What are you trying to
Facebook.
ask?
I'm not the social media and website administrator.
like, is that something we can put on our website or
As
on
like
the
what?
Facebook page? Just that this is a thing that they need help with, or that they need donations for, to try to help out. Instead of it being something that we can want to help blast this out, and I never knew about this, or that they need anything, or anything about it. Right now.
So just showing that we support the organization and people can.
Say,
read
yeah,
about
maybe just help the advertising, would probably boost numbers, and people that are probably donating.
That,
Maybe find that out.
Are you talking about the education on the BSS thing?
Yeah.
Give it to me, I'll put it on our Facebook
Okay,
page.
yeah, cause like, I don't even know about it until now, so I'm sure there's a ton of other people that are in the same boat.
Right.
I'll be happy
Who is
to.
our
I've heard of
social
Meals
media
on Wheels, but I don't know that they're looking for
So that-
donations
yeah,
or whatever.
I mean, yeah,
I'll be happy to put that.
We
on
are,
our
right.
Thank you. We can do that at this point.
Right now, like, we're just having the web designer upload the data for us until we have the position filled. We have to assist to get the need to get it uploaded. So as soon as we can get a position posted to replace.
Well, no, I was just asking because she said she's not, so I assumed.
Cindy's,
did.
yeah, we're using.
Well, if he's doing it, he hasn't put the minutes on since April.
They haven't been
website.
sent.
Right, he doesn't have them, so he can't.
I'm only
Well,
sending
he doesn't have them.
the agendas that are mandated to be posted, anything else that's available can be, or anything else that's available here, can be when you get. Right now, I'm slammed with.
Oh, I didn't know that they didn't have to be posted.
All right, next we have the letter of resignation for, an auditor. And, that would be, Robert Petrushev says due to previous misinformation, I'm resigning my position as municipal auditor, effective immediately 8/24/26. So that opens, an auditor vacancy.
I'd like to nominate Nancy Witt to replace Mr. Petrusek and thank Mr. Petrusek for volunteering to serve. Ms. Witt, would you be willing to step in as an auditor? What's that?
He's made the motion.
Well, he just said he would nominate her. but we have to advertise that position.
Why'd we have to advertise?
We
We didn't
don't have-
advertise it for Mr. Peck.
We don't have to.
No, so we should.
Oh my God.
But we have to act on all.
I mean, it's the best practice to advertise, right? It's the best practice to advertise for all of the positions.
I guess I'm confused, because I heard you say that you would nominate, I didn't hear a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Nancy Wood as if she's willing to accept it.
I didn't. I would have to drink on that.
Have to drink on that?
Yeah, because I'm kind of, you know.
I can provide that.
So,
Thank you for the consideration. I'll have to think about it. Math is not my strong point.
so moving forward, we'll advertise for that. But we need to make a motion to accept his resignation, so I'll make that motion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Bonnie's abstained. Motion passes. Okay, next is personnel and staff, which we'll come to after the executive session. Next, we have the PSATS Board Chairs Retreat Summary. Bonnie?
Yeah, just, high level, there is all of the townships, throughout Pennsylvania. There was a retreat with the chairs and or co-chairs who could attend. It was limited, seating. There were approximately 75, chairs and or co-chairs that were in attendance. A lot of it was, there were lawyers there going over things related to the agenda. We have some opportunity to update some of our, the ways we're running our meetings. And de-escalating things, which I think is very beneficial for this board and for the residents. So I'll be talking with the board on some of those items. There's also what they call consent agenda, which is new, where you can add the normal standard things like your reports that you do monthly, your minutes. You can lump it all into one to make the motion. It was reiterated again by every one of the presenters that the meetings, these board of supervisor meetings are public meetings. They are not run by the public. They are to get business completed. We have set the 3 minutes in motion. We need to do that all the time. And we just need to, I need to talk to the board because we need to make changes as a board with how things are running in these meetings. That's all I have right now.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Yep.
Next, make a motion, we go back to 2 meetings a month. We need it, we got way too much going on, we meeting every 30 days.
Yeah. If you would like to
That's
add
a great
that to the
idea.
agenda, we'll have to add that to the agenda, that's not on the agenda.
Okay, so let's vote to add that to the agenda. Make a motion, vote to add that to the agenda.
Okay, Paul's made a motion to add 2 meetings a month to our agenda.
That's a great idea.
Do I have a second?
Come on. You guys really want to sit here?
Yes.
They can't even make one meeting a month. Meetings hard right there. T12.
Having no second.
You guys got way too much stuff on your plate, man.
So the motion failed. Next we have the Morning Times increasing the advertising rate notice. So currently legal notices per line are 79 cents. They are going up to 99 cents. It says our display legal rate will remain the same at $8 per column inch. State notices are increasing to the rate of 105. LLC advertisements will remain the same at 178 per line. So our legal notices are going up to 99 cents per line. Next, the State Transportation Commission.
I emailed it. It's the 12-year program has been finalized, and you can find it all the projects, all the details for the State Transportation Commission is all at the website.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we have the 2026-2027 salt contract with suppliers and rates being established. So this is our CoStar's salt contract, beginning August 1st to October 31st. That's the initial fill program, and then the winter usage program. Orders can be placed between November 1st and July 31st of next year, but you're allowing 5 to 7 business days for that. The minimum order is 22 tons.
According to the graph that was attached there to the municipality, in Bradford County, would be the American rock salt and would be 77.85.
Did they win that bid or
Yes.
over Cargill?
Yes,
Oh, there's only
Cargill
two
did
places
not
to get it.
prevail in Bradford County.
Seven
785.
What's this one?
That was the amount. If you look.
Oh, what it was before CoStar's.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the same. They have here,
Thank you. All right, next we have a Berkheimer opportunity. Mason.
So after the previous meeting regarding Mr. Chersnowski's little commentary about the businesses, we decided to take a further look. And Berkheimer, when I think of Berkheimer, all I thought of was EIT and LST. That's all I thought of. But little did I know that they actually offer services such as charging businesses a certain percentage of basically gross receipts for the year or whatever it may be. There's mercantile tax in addition to a couple other things that we talked about. But I think the biggest three ones I saw that wouldn't have any impact towards the residential taxpayer, it'd be more strictly towards the business taxpayers, is the mercantile tax, the mechanical device tax, and there's one more, the business privilege tax as well. Couple things here that they mentioned for each one, this pamphlet that Megan's attached. John as well is aware of the certain things that we're going to be looking into for them to provide us for the 2027 year for more revenue to hopefully do more good for the community. I'm just looking to hear more of what can and what can't do for that.
That's great. Thank you, Mason.
They decided that we can set a flat rate that would mainly kind of put a tax more on like Walmart or Lowe's, not their average business like Walmart's or
Small
even
businesses.
the deli that something like that.
Okay, that's great. That's any opportunity we can get to get revenue is great. Thank you, Mason. At this time, we're going to adjourn at 8:05 for executive session for personnel and legal.